Hi guys, it's Friday. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed weekend. AT&T is confirming that it has arrested one person in a massive data breach of more than 110 million customers. But what makes this also very unusual, it is apparently the first cybersecurity incident where the Justice Department initially allowed an enterprise not to disclose that they had been hacked. When confirming details of a massive, and I mean massive, data breach about 110 million customers, AT&T today revealed that it had become apparently the first enterprise to give permission to initially keep the breach details secret and then was cleared to publish. The incident itself, which AT&T said stemmed from a series of snowflake attacks, revealed call data but not the particulars of those calls. AT&T said that although the information stolen doesn't reveal customer's name, it points out that there are always ways using publicly available online tools to find the names associated to a specific phone number. And that includes the people that AT&T customers called. AT&T spokesperson Jim Kimberly said in a phone interview that the stolen data, which was on a third-party workspace and spans the period between approximately May 1st and October 31st of 2022, as well as January 2nd of 2023, is not nearly at the detailed level that, for example, customers are used to seeing in their AT&T phone bill. That included phone numbers that were contacted by the AT&T user phones and for how many minutes they may have talked or even text messages to. The data does not contain the content of the calls or texts, personal information such as social security numbers, dates of birth, or other personal identifiable information. Current analysis indicates that the data includes, for these periods of time, records of calls and texts of nearly all AT&T wireless customers and customers of mobile virtual network operations using AT&T wireless networks. These records identify the telephone numbers with which an AT&T or MVNO wireless number interacted during these periods, including telephone numbers of AT&T wireless customers and customers of other carriers, counts of those interactions, I guess how many times that you called that person, and the total sum of the call duration for a day or month. For a subset of records of one or more cell phone site identification numbers are also included. So I guess that's like pinging when you make a phone call, a certain cell phone tower pings so it knows which area, which location the phone calls came from, evidently. Given that AT&T said that nearly all AT&T mobile customers were impacted, that raises the question of why the data of some customers was not impacted. Had those customers done something differently? When asked those questions, AT&T Kimberly did not have an answer. AT&T reported that at least one person had been arrested in connection with the incident, but referred questions about the arrests to the FBI, which did not respond to questions. Unlike other major data breaches, AT&T said that for now, it does not appear that the attackers had posted any of the information on the dark web or anywhere else. As of right now, AT&T does not believe that the data is publicly available, the company said. An interesting element of this case is that it is apparently the first incident where the FBI Justice Department has given an enterprise permission to keep the data breach secret and later gave permission to publish. Neither AT&T or the FBI would say why it was allowed to remain secret, or whether AT&T had requested the secrecy, or whether the FBI asked for it, or what changed to allow for the disclosure. One scenario is that authorities did not want the suspect to know that they had discovered the AT&T breach. Although AT&T said that more suspects are at large, it's possible that the first arrest would have alerted others to the AT&T situation, thereby removing the need for secrecy. AT&T and the FBI did not say when the Justice Department gave AT&T permission to disclose. On May 9th of this year, 2024, and again on June 5th, 2024, the U.S. Department of Justice determined that under Item 1.05c of Form 8K, delay in providing public disclosure was warranted. AT&T is now timely filing this report, AT&T said in its filing. Jonathan Rudy, a senior counsel for TransUnion, said that he found that this declaration surprising. You lose almost your entire call center base for 3 months, and you don't consider that material? He asked in an interview, adding that these were the personal opinions and not necessarily the views of his employer. You could get a lot of good collateral goods out of this stuff. So from what I understand from this reading is the breach, which occurred 2 years ago, was not disclosed until now because the U.S. Department of Justice had determined that a delay in public disclosure was warranted. Roughly a dozen other carriers are AT&T MVNOs, and that includes Boost Mobile and Cricket Wireless. They are also included in this breach. So just don't think that you're not affected because you don't have AT&T wireless plan. Those with landline phones that interact with AT&T wireless customers between May and October of 2022 likely saw their phone numbers included in part of the downloaded data set. AT&T says that the records expose which numbers AT&T wireless customers called and text during that period as well. And in the information too, I guess I was right, it says the records also included cell site identification numbers for those interactions, which could be used to determine the user's approximate geographic location. So does your grandmother have a Cricket phone? Or a Boost mobile phone? Yeah, you could be impacted as well. So what are your thoughts about them sitting on this information for 2 years? And they've made only one arrest. Did it take that long to find the person? Were they here in the United States? Or possibly in another country? Raises a lot of questions. What are your thoughts? Please put that down below, what you're thinking. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you all. Bye.